You know, I've had a haircut, as you can probably tell. I look like a monk or something. Never mind. Right, fun and games. Many of you, well, some of you, one of you probably, will be aware of the Freedom of Information site whatdotheyknow.com, upon which you can ask any public body in the UK any question relating to freedom of information, and of course it goes public, and of course they're required to answer. It is within 20 or 30 days. Some of them have different rules, which is fine. 30 days I would think, 20 working days. My regular viewer will be aware I've made plural requests on this site, one of which was to Cambridge Police about why they're issuing all these harassment and distress orders, which, as I have explained before in a previous video, is well, it's an easy nick basically, because these things are so vague. The law in it is so vague. There's so many different angles they can approach it from. So let's say there's 10 points in the law, for example. Basically different forces take about 2 points each, and that's what they use to enforce their harassment and distressment charges, especially when it's against council officers. I lost my ashtray now. Where's my ashtray gone? Oh, there we go. Oh, hello. Hello, Mr. Ashtray. I've missed you. So I made a request to Cambridge Police, as I say, because a friend of mine, Mark Taylor, obviously was completely illegally sent to jail by these Nazi diehards who call themselves the police. And it was one of many cases which have come to my attention recently, which the police are just making this shit up, basically. And I asked them why they were just inventing these things to boost their arrest rate. Well, there was a panel yesterday, the police crime panel, who have previously blocked one of my requests, just by saying they're not going to tell me anything, basically. I forget which one it is, but you can see it on my wall, as it were, on whatdotheyknow.com. So they wrote back to me today and they said, we're refusing to release this information because we don't have it. So how... This is where the wordplay comes into it. How can you refuse to release information you don't have? Well, if you don't have it, you don't have it. But they're refusing to release it. Listen, I'm fucking nuts. I mean, it's just more proof, really, that Cambridge Police just fucking lie, to be honest. They just lie about shit. And this was, I believe it's the Assistant Chief Constable, I think it was, who wrote, Nikki something or other, who wrote back to me. Why would you refuse to release information you don't have? I'll leave that one with you. However, I think from this it can be ascertained that indeed the police are protecting HDC, Huntingdonshire District Council, who have been ripping off the taxpayer for 30 years, because obviously again the reply doesn't make sense, really, which is quite frightening for supposedly qualified police officers. There's 2 points here. Definitely 2 points. Not 2 points, 2 points. 2.12. Okay, so firstly, listen guys, Cambridge Police, sort your bloody lives out, because some of the emails I get back from you are fucking shocking. When Detective Sergeant Nick Cook wrote back to me and said he wasn't following my complaint against Huntingdonshire District Close. No, I think you meant council, mate, not close. I mean, seriously, proofread your shit, guys, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yes, there's none of us perfect. I've made mistakes on Facebook and Twitter, and I do at least try and proofread my stuff, to be honest, but sometimes I do miss things because I'm not very good at seeing things in 2 dimensions. But I mean, seriously, there's a big difference. You know, he could have said Huntingdonshire District Clicket or something. But Huntingdonshire District Close is just nowhere near close, Nick. It's nowhere near close, Nick. You're a fucking moron, Nick. I mean, the intelligence level does leave you wondering. Really, doesn't it? That's a sergeant in plain clothes, you know, CID. Secondly, anyway, I saw a video. I think her name is Hannah Shadbolt. I think. Sorry if I've got that wrong. It was yesterday I watched it, but she's on YouTube a lot, and she does a lot of good stuff with the common law and all that. And she was down at Parliament Square, to which, by the way, there's been a 5-day protest, possibly 6 now. I haven't seen anything online today, but there's been no coverage of this in the national media, of course, because they're all basically sucking up to Boris and Dave and all the rest of it, as we know, because there's a media blackout in my case. So there have been 18 illegal arrests yesterday morning or whatever it was. And basically the police there were trying to prosecute people under bylaws, because what they were saying was that Parliament Square was private property, so that would supposedly constitute trespass, which trespass is not a problem until the landowner asks you to leave, and if you don't leave then you're committing a criminal offence, because trespass in itself is a civil offence. So, but then the coppers were coming across and saying, oh well, you're damaging the grass now because they were sleeping out, you know, and the taxpayer's going to have to pay for that. So how does the taxpayer pay for damage to private property? Either the coppers nick them and then bill them and get it over and done with because it's private land, or they're billed for damage to the property separately, and then the taxpayer pays for that. But this again is, you know, it's just the usual double standards from the lying bank coppers, who are more interested in serving their masters at Whitehall than actually protecting the public. The same way they facilitate bailiffs these days and help bailiffs do their jobs. Crimes against people or property, hello. The bailiffs come in, that's, you know, and that's in dispute, then that's actually a crime against property. So guys, you're not going to win. This is the entire point. You know, I can do all the videos that I want, and okay, I don't have thousands of followers and all the rest of it. But there's other people out there, a lot of other people, fighting very similar causes. And together we're going to win one way or the other, because the police, the government, the councils are just talking shit now. They're just making shit up. And of course it all comes down at the end of the day, oh, we're going to take you to court, we're going to send you to jail. The entire philosophy is based on making you back off, because they know they have no actual legal case to argue. But, you know, obviously then they get their bent judges roped in, like we saw in my video, a bent judge and a very expensive barrister. And of course they had no warrant in that case, they had no legal warrant, but you know, they'll just try these fucking terror tactics basically. Fucking desperate people. David Cameron recently said that non-violent conspiracy theorists are worse than ISIS. And unfortunately for you, Dave, that's you. You're worse than ISIS. And I'm still waiting for your fucking call, you thieving bastard. So there we go. Cambridge Police, totally bent. They're refusing to give me information they don't have. Cue Kermit face.